All right. So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the class. So, I see not many of you are back yet. There's just few students who are back. So, all right. I hope that 1 hour was enough for you to relax and just come back and so that we continue with the topic. All right. Thank you. So, shall we start now? Are you clear with the vocabulary part? What is vocabulary? How to, build your vocabulary, and what's the types of vocabulary that we have, and what are things you can do to improve your vocabulary every day? And besides that, what connotations are, and have you understood the importance of knowing about the connotations that you know about the positive connotation or a negative connotation to words? I mean, I think in everyday language, all of us use few words in such a way that maybe means negative, but we use it positive, thinking that it has a positive connotation. For example, I gave you the example of headstrong and determined. There's a difference, right? All right. Uh, I don't know, Rishita, what you're asking for. Would you want to discuss on page number 3.7? Please specify. Then only I'll be able to discuss. All right. So yes, people have joined back. Let's just start with now the class. Okay. So now, yes, Mamta, you are right. So the meaning, literal meaning is almost the same of the words and connotations, but positive and negative, you have to see which one is used positively and which is used negatively. So yes. Okay, let's begin. I'll share the screen before I forget. Okay, so now we're going to talk about thanks, Sai Subhash, I'm fine. Okay, so we're going to talk about jargon words. It's in page number 3.8 of your study material, which is in the box. Okay, now this is primarily, it's not really, part of the broader classification of types of the types of what do you say vocabulary, but we thought that you should know about what jargons are and what does it mean and how you can use it, because this helps you professionally, right? So now, what is jargon word? Vijay, we've already discussed how to develop strong vocabulary. Please watch my morning session. Kanishka, you want some exercises for what? For connotations? Okay, let's do this thing. It's 2-5 right now. Let me finish the concepts that I'm going to teach you. And towards the end, if our time is left, we'll have keep a run through practice session of different topics. Okay. and rest we can continue tomorrow. But for now, whatever I've planned right now, let me finish that quickly. Okay. So jargon words. Now, jargon words are basically the term, or there are specific words which are which the words are related to basically the particular situation, profession, or a trade. There are few words that are only related to particular profession. So every profession has a few words that only people belonging to those profession can understand. Outsiders might not get the meaning unless their vocabulary is super good. They like to read from different topics. Otherwise, there are certain things that that are very limited to the professions and occupational groups. Okay. So if I tell you a simple definition, it is a use of specific phrases and words in a particular situation, profession, or trade. For example, in medical field, doctors have their own vocabulary, right? There are certain words that they use which we don't understand, but doctors understand when they're talking to each other, when they write on the reports. I'm sure you must have seen the medical reports also. There's so many words that we don't understand, right? Because there's such medical terms and such typical technical terms that we don't understand, right? Some are jargon there. Those words only people from medical department would understand what it means, right? Now, lawyers have their own, CAs have their own language, and everybody has in literature. People when teaching English, they would have their own vocabulary, right? So this is called jargon here. Now, few things to remember before I start to give you examples. Jargon is the part of formal language. Okay, it is not casual. It is not even a slang. You know what slangs are? Yeah, slangs is an informal way of using the words in language. That is not formal. And slang is basically depends from people to people and groups to groups and culture to culture. But no, this is not slang. Okay, this is a formal, complex language used by experts. Okay, experts from any field, I would say, any profession, any trade. But jargons are used by experts, and only people from that trade would understand what they mean. This language often helps experts to communicate with clarity and precision. So now, of course, every jargon has a specific meaning attached to it, right? Every word would have a different meaning attached to it. So when they use these specific words, the person, when experts are talking to each other, they understand what they're trying to say. They have a better clarity and better precision about things, better, idea about what we are talking about. Am I clear? Yes. Now, some people may argue that why people use jargon here? Why can't they use simple language, direct language? But that's not the case. I mean, it's fine, but every trade had their own vocabulary, and it should be there because those jargons base make the conversation crisp, short, and they just know what they're talking about, right? Okay. Uh, Besides this, now if I give you an example of a jargon, now look at the word hard copy. Okay. Now, hard copy is a physical printout of a document. How many of you knew about this phrase, hard copy? Who will tell me? How many of you know what hard copy is? Only one person knew. There is no one else who knew about this. Okay, so a hard copy is a physical printout. Now, automatically, people who did not have to deal with printouts and documentation every day, they will not know what hard copy is. But every people who are working and they have to take out documents and submit in hard copy format, they would know what hard copy and soft copy is, right? So hard copy is a physical printout, and soft copy is when something is sent electronically, majorly emails. That is a soft copy. If I say just send me a soft copy of the document, that means email it to me. If I say send a hard copy of the documents, that means I want them to be couriered to me or delivered to my office, right? So now this is a jargon. This people who are working would understand. People who have something to do with printing and documentation work would understand what it means. Am I clear? Yes. Yes. Okay. Now look at the another example. So another example says, mm, so somebody belonging to medical department. Okay. If somebody says certain medications can cause or worsen nasal symptoms, right? Now the word nasal, okay, doctors usually use this, right? A common man might not even get straightforward. What does it mean, nasal symptoms, right? Then they talk about antidepressants, prosthetic, alpha. They use so many words, beta, alpha, beta, and what not, right? So these are all medical jargons. Legally, when we talk about class action, privacy laws, uh, injunctions, defidence. There's so many words that people from legal department knows, and people, layman might not know what it means. Am I clear? Yes. Yeah. So this is what it is about. It just makes now why we should know about jargon words. How would this help us? Now, jargon words may one, it makes you fit into that particular field or profession. If I would say, it will of course make your conversation interesting because you can use the words which are crisp and people from your field can understand straightforward what you're talking about, right? You don't have to go haywire here and there. It just click throughs, clear. And conversation is interesting because if two people of the same trade are talking, the third person standing there will not understand what you guys are talking about, right? But people you want to, I mean, connect to would straight away know what you mean. Clear? Yes. All right. So this was just briefly that we wanted to touch upon. Now let's move on to, yes, Vinayak, bullish is the jargon when it comes to stock market, bullish, bearish, right? I'm not from stock market, but I think bullish is when it's going upwards, bearish is when it's going downwards. I mean, yeah, something like that. Again, I am not from the trade, so I don't know. But yes, this is jargon. Good. Okay. Like you have more examples in your book, in your study material, and you can look for more online. So if you use the word best practice, now best practice is adopted, should be adopted because it has proven effectiveness. So somebody who's working effectively and something has proven the practice that as effective practice, the person calls it a best practice. Like, this is the best practice to do this. When you call something which it's going to be effective enough to work in certain situation, so you call it a best practice. uh there is due diligence. So it refers to research that should be done before making any important decision. When I say that, do your due diligence, like you said that I want to undertake this project, and I say, do your due diligence. That means just analyze, do your own research about before you make any decision. Everything should be there. Very good. Meeting of white collars. Good. All right. So that was about the jargon words. Now let's quickly move to synonyms and antonyms. Shall we begin? All right, look at your screen. So do you see the word advice written on your screens? Yes. Okay. And do you see the table, the words mentioned below? These all words that are mentioned below. Tell me the relation between advice and all these words. What is the relation? What do you understand? Just read any 4, 5, 6 words and see what it means. What is the connection between advice and all the other words? Quick, quick, quick. Yes, all words are similar to advice, similar to the meaning of advice. Now, all these words, one way or the other, they relate to the word advice, they mean advice. Okay, so these are called synonyms. Now, synonyms are the words that do not have the exact meaning, they have a similar meaning to each other. What is it? Similar meaning, right? Now, if I give you two words, pick these two words and make sentences. Health, counsel, instruction. All right, quickly make the sentences. For with these three words, then you'll better understand how to use these words and how they're different, yet similarity in some way. There is some similarity in some way. Quickly make sentences. Yes, Neha, of course, instead of advice. But you have to see where these words would fit in. These words will not fit in every context. Uh, there is always instruction on the medicine label. She helps me in my distress. So are you trying to say, Kanishka, that she basically helps you to say that advises you to stay calm whenever you are stressed? Okay. I help my brother to do his homework, which is also a sort of that, you tell him how to do it, right? So this is also some way of advising somebody. Please, no, please help me to solve this issue. Okay. Okay. Now I want you to listen to these definitions very carefully. Now, what is a literal definition of the word advice? It is an opinion that you give somebody about what he or she should do. So, an opinion that you give somebody about what he or she should do. This is advice, we all know, right? Now, let's look at the word counsel. So, counsel is to give professional advice and help to somebody with with a problem. Now, counsel is also giving an advice, but this isn't a professional advice, right? It could be from a lawyer to you. It could be from a counselor to you. So, it's some sort of advice to help somebody, right? Now, let's look at the word instruction. Instruction is to give you a detailed information on how you should use something or do something. Okay. Now, this is also kind of giving an advice to tell someone how to go about it. All right. Help. Help means to do something for somebody in order to be useful or to make something easier for someone. All these words have similarity because it's related to, tell someone how to do something. Yet, there is a very slight difference, right? Now, counsel is professional advice. Instruction is when you give somebody detailed information on how to do something, and help is to make something easier for somebody by telling them how to do it. So if you see, all the words have a slight difference. So this is what synonyms is about. Synonyms says that no word can mean exact same to each other. Yes, and they can be interchangeably used as per the sentence structure. It depends on the sentence. Not everywhere you can fit in all the words. Like, for example, instead of help, you cannot use, I mean, you can just not without considering, you will use the word warning, right? Warning is also can become somebody, to give them advice not to do something. It is also kind of an advice, but warning is to advise in the way that you shouldn't do this, because if you do this, this will be the consequence, right? So you need to understand, and having a knowledge about synonyms really helps you to be creative while speaking and while writing. You can avoid repetition of words, right? You can use better words instead of simple words, right? Of course, it has to be specific to the situation, specific to the statement that you're making, specific to the kind of sentence that you're structuring, right? So I personally feel that for all the basic words like that we use, happy, sad, cry, stressed, help, advice. So for these words, you should know synonyms, right? So that you can, use better words instead of using basic words. Clear? Yes. Do you understand what synonyms are and how they can help you? Uh, okay, so this is what synonym is about. They have a similar definition of meaning. No word mean exactly the same. Subtle differences, emphasis, suggestion, or use. Like I've just told you that there is a very small difference between emphasis, what that word can emphasize on, what it suggests, and how it can be used. Can be used interchangeably without changing the meaning of the text. Yes, you can use different words without changing the meaning of the words. Now look at this table. These are all synonyms of happy. So instead of saying I am happy, can you say I am ecstatic, I am elated, I am glad, uh, I feel peaceful, I feel pleasant. Can you use such words? I am content, right? So I mean, such even these small difference, even these difference like using replacing the word happy with some other word can change the entire conversation, can change the entire beauty of the conversation. I would say it would beautify the conversation, I would say. Yes, you can decorate your sentences with different sorts of synonyms, and definitely your vocabulary is good, your the emphasis on the things would be good, and you convey the good, you have a good conversation with people, right? And you will feel good about yourself. Clear? Yes. Where are you guys? Yes. So I have gone through your sentences, which is okay, good enough. What I wanted to make you understand was that how these words are different and how you can make them. I am happy for you, Devyansh. I'm really happy for you. Okay. This counsels me. Okay. So this was about synonyms. Let's now look at the uh, antonyms, and then we will get into the exercises. Now, antonyms is about opposites. When we talk about something which is notionally or nearly opposite to the word. Yes, Vedika, I wrote about can't complain, because no, can't complain is the one phrase. Sometimes you're so happy and you say that, everything went really well and I can't complain. That means that, I'm very happy that everything went quite well. Okay. Now, look at this another slide. Now, this one is the nearly opposites of happy. There are words like depressed, disturbed, down, grave, serious, unhappy, discouraged, dissatisfied, forsaken, hopeless, morose, pained. So, these are all words that you can use as the opposite of happy. Yes, when you want to talk about something opposite. And, you can use different words. For example, if I want to use I feel everything went well, I feel contented. Okay, you want to say that you were happy and you're relaxed, that everything went well. If I want to say the opposite of it, I can say I am dissatisfied, or I'm disappointed that things did not go well. Instead of saying I am happy and I'm sad about it, I can use different words. I am, dissatisfied. I am disappointed. I am discouraged. Things did not go as per my plan. So you use different words, and the moment you will start making these small changes in your everyday conversations, you will see some bigger changes happening, right? You will feel good about the statements that you're making. Are we clear? Can you make 3 sentences with the words? Um, Make it with depressed, make one with troubled, and make one with hopeless. All right, quick, I'm waiting. You guys have only 2 minutes. Manik, because morose means to have a bad temper. that you're not happy about something. Akash, no. You cannot use trouble like this. I am troubled because of exams. Okay. I troubled on my tongue. Okay. I am just Srishti Naga Noor. Do you already have your CA foundation result out already? Okay. I am so hopeless at India. I feel so hopeless that India could not win the match, Rangna. I don't know. I don't understand what you meant. I'm so hopeless that India could win the match. I am so hopeless that India could. I feel so hopeless. Correct your sentence. I think they were my God. Seemed troubled. He just seemed troubled. All right, great. So this is what antonyms is about. Let's quickly discuss the types of antonyms here. Now, a pair or group of antonyms are of three types. One is graded, one is complementary, and one is relational. Okay. So these are just the categories. Okay. You might know about most of them. So relational antonyms are those antonyms that are a set of word pairs which are responsible for showing a relationship between two opposites. Okay. They are always sort of meant to have a relationship together, right? For example, for front, antonym you will always use back. For uncle, you will always use aunt. Okay. So hello will have goodbye. So these are words that you always say in return. These are words that go together. They sort of have a relationship. If you want to say an opposite of front, you will say back. For uncle, you will say aunt. For hello, you will say goodbye. Okay. So they would not exist without each other. Next comes the graded one. Now, this is a set of pair which are responsible for showing variations between two opposites, such as little and big antonyms. But you will observe a lot of changes before you get into the opposite meaning. Now, these two words, they don't have a very strict, relation together. Okay. For example, healthy, sick. Okay, somebody is not healthy, that does not mean that somebody will be sick. Okay, but we still tend to use sick as an antonym. Somebody is not smart, not enough smart, that does not mean somebody is stupid, right? If somebody is not happy, that does not mean that somebody is shattered and very sad and depressed. No, you might be feeling somewhere in the middle also. Okay, so these are the words that do not have an equal weightage, and the complementary antonyms are those antonyms which have no degree of meaning. There is only availability of two opposites in a possible manner. Okay, like for on, you will use off. For dead, it's alive. There is no other word in between that you can think of. Okay, so they kind of always go together, these words. The complementary one. Push, pull. Am I clear? Yes. Now, like I just said, that why do we use antonyms and synonyms? It helps us to express ideas clearly. Yes. If you know to use the word appropriately. For example, You have taken some professional advice. Okay, you don't feel okay, or maybe there's some certain problem and you need a lawyer's advice. You're taking a professional legal advice. Okay, or you are taking an advice from a doctor. Okay, you will use a word for professional advice. You will say counsel. Yes, instead of just saying that, I've taken the advice from this lawyer, or I've taken this advice from a doctor. Okay, or you will say, I've been counseled by the lawyer to do this, I've been counseled by the doctor to take this medicine, right? So you can use the words appropriately instead of using just the basic or any word. Precise communication, it's precise. When I use the word counsel, I know I'm talking about a professional advice here. I'm not talking about mama papa's advice here. I'm only talking about somebody's expert's advice here. Avoid monotony of expression. Now, monotony means that you don't want to be repetitive and using the same words again and again. So, using these words can make you feel interesting, make you feel sound interesting. Am I clear? Reduce redundancy and to keep writing or speech interesting to the audience. Repetition of things again. You can avoid the repetition of words. You can avoid without changing the entire intent of your passage. You can use different words and yet you convey the same meaning. Clear? Any problem so far? Anything that you want to know? All right, let's quickly do this exercise. So you are supposed to give me the antonyms. Four options are given beneath every sentence, and you have to come up with you have to find the best uh, antonym. Also, before this, Shraddha, you asked me about the exercises on page number 311 and page number 312. I don't know what should I explain you here. It's quite easy and it's quite direct questions. And people who have been asking what kind of questions are asked in the exams, I told in the last class also, I don't know how many of you have opened last year's papers, but this is the pattern of the paper. This is how you're asked questions from this chapter about antonyms, synonyms, idioms, and you will be given like four options or three options, and you have to pick from there, right? So this is how it is given, and I do not feel there is anything to be explained in these exercises. But if there is something specific, please mention it, what exactly you want to know about it. Otherwise, these questions are quite direct. Come on, let's do the antonyms part. The officer exaggerated a damage caused by the rowdies. Now you have to write underwrote, condemned, ignored, underestimated. You have to give me the antonym of the word exaggerated. This shouldn't take more than 30 seconds, please. Okay, so the first one is redundancy means words that are not required are repeated again and again. Uh, no, so the answer for the first one is underestimated, exaggerated, underestimated. Exaggerated to make the things look bigger. Underestimated is when you are not able to assess something and you underestimate the situation. This officer was very strict person, so of course strict, lenient. Good. All right, next. The speaker was unable to pacify the crowd. All right, are you done? Antagonize, very good. And for the next, it's antagonize for the third. And for servitude, the antonym will be freedom. Next. The answer for the next is his attitude to poor people is deplorable, it's commendable. The guest made derogatory remarks about the food he was served, complimentary. Okay, now you have to find the synonym for the word which are in italics. People who are answering correctly, very good. There are so many of you who have answered correctly. Very good. How many of you are able to answer for this one? Okay, let's see how many of you have answered. So the first one, okay, I can actually do this. The answer is trivial, then transgression, and then torpid. So for the synonym for exertion is trivial, misdeeds is transgression, and for sluggish it's torpid. How many of you have got all right? Well, you'll have to build your vocabulary, Akash. What else can you do? All right, next. Quick, then we can take a 5 minutes break again and we'll come back and do the last topic for the day. Done with these three? Shall we discuss the answers? No, it's not a break, Manik. I'll take in another 1 minute or so. Let me quickly give you the answers for this one. Even though she had plenty of money, the old woman was very frugal. So the answer is thrifty. Stand up and fight for your rights instead of being submissive. The answer is docile. The mighty housing development dwarfed the next rest of the neighborhood. Stupendous. All right. All right. So do let me know how many answers were correct for you. And I will be joining back in another 5 minutes. Let's take a 5 minutes break. And then let's join back at 3 o'clock and then finish with the next topic. All right, all right. All right, welcome back. So I hope you're clear with synonyms and antonyms. If there is any problems, you can tell me. Otherwise, we'll move on to now next one, which is roots or words. Any problems? Is everything clear to you guys? Okay. So let's start with the root of words. Now, what do you understand when I say roots of the words? This means like roots, something like just roots of plants. In a similar way, we are talking about the roots of words, the original words, the study of the original words, and the way in which their meanings have changed throughout history is called etymology. So there is this whole study, a separate study of the studying about the history of words and their meanings, that how the meaning of the words have changed over the time, over the history. Now, root words are like the building blocks of the words. They help you to build. If you know the root word, you can actually relate to the meaning. All right. So this can actually help you to, if you know the root of the words, then you can actually make so many words out of that, and you can actually understand what this word could mean. Like, for example, if there is this word arrow, you know that this word has something to do with air. So you derive so many words out of this, then aeroplane, aerospace, aerial. So there's so many words that you can connect to it. But since you know that this word, this root word means air, right? And then you can link to so many other words. Now, usually we add prefix or suffix to these words, okay, so that it can be formed into many other words. All right. Most of the common language sources for word roots are from Greek and Latin language. Most of the words that comes from in English language, they come either from the Greek language or they come from Latin language, which also means that you pick a lot of root words from Greek and Latin. So many words you, if you actually, and actually online, you can find the history of the word also. All these dictionary.coms and thesaurus.com, they have a small section of the history of the word as well, that how this word came into the being and how the meaning changed. I think I have seen in dictionaries, online dictionaries. So there's entire, towards the end of the page you will find a history of the word. Okay, you can check that if you want to. I haven't shared the screen yet. Yes, I have not shared the screen. Okay, I'm not writing anything, so don't worry. Don't worry about it. I'm not writing anything. Okay, so this is what it is about. And the root is the word or word part which other words grow usually through prefix and suffix. Usually you add either a prefix or a suffix to the words so that, okay, and this is how the other words grow. You can add so many words, prefix or suffix, and then eventually the verb. Okay. Right. No, there is no negative marking. Root is a base of word which it cannot stand alone. But there are few root words that can stand actually alone. So I will be sharing both kinds of words with you that can stand alone and that cannot stand alone. Before I actually show you the words, how about I give you some root words and you tell me if you can make the words out of it or not. If you know any words that has been derived from the same uh, root word. Let's take the first one, which is bio. Can you make the words from bio? What does the word? What is does the root word bio mean? It means life. It means life. All right, quickly, can you come up with words that starts from the root word bio? Quick, it's so easy. I mean, you can it just, I think two, three words are such words that you can easily make from this bio. Okay, let's see how many of you could come up. Biodiversity, biology, biography, very good. Biosphere, biotic, very good. Biotechnology, biometric, biochemistry. Great. So you see, you can find so many words. Now, why we typically teach you, and you should know about root words, because if you know about the root words, then whenever you come across any new word, you can, somewhere you can derive the meaning of the word. Because if you find a new word which starts from bio, you know it has something to do with life, right? So then you can derive the meanings out of it. Am I clear? Yes. This is actually very interesting. And I think you can just go through the n number of list of root words and you can find out the words that are associated with it. I'm going to give you two more words. Quickly tell me if you can just make the words out of this. This is norm and this is phobia. What do you mean by norm and what do you mean by phobia? Phobia is fear, of course, and norm is typical. So let's see if you can make two or three words each from these root words. Norm, phobia. Biochemistry, okay. Biomass, biogas. Great. Let's quickly move to norm and phobia. Just give me two words each. Normal, okay. Normative, very good. Hydrophobia, very good. Normative, normally, zoophobia. How about paranormal, normality, abnormal? So many words. So phobia, you guys found no phobia quite easy. Okay, let's move on then. Right. So I've already given you two, three words to practice, and you know what root words means and why you should know about the root words. So root words can help us to deduce the meaning of new words that we encounter. Remember, I told you in the beginning that whenever you read any new word, you should first try to deduce the meaning or try to find out the meaning by reading the text. You should at least be able to derive some meaning. So, for example, there is a new word, it starts with a root word. You automatically for the 50%, you already know the meaning of the word. You just need to be sure of the rest of the 50% by checking the dictionary. But for the 50%, you know that this is something related to air, life, whatever root word is being used there, right? This is one thing. By elimination techniques, students can make the right selection of answer, but be careful as a root word can have more than one meaning. Do make sure you know this that you should know that the root words can have more than one meaning. So you should be very careful while selecting any word. In addition, words that look similar may be derived from different roots. So when you meet up a new word, be really sure on and or to check the dictionary for its meaning. Am I clear? Yes, there is a whole list of words that has been given for from page number 3.13 to 3.15. Okay, there are n number of root words that has been given to you. If you look at the table number on page number 3.14, yeah, 3.14. Look at the first word, biblio. Biblio means book. So anything related, whenever the word has biblio, that means it has something to do with book, like bibliophile. Bibliophile means lover of books. Bibliography, listing and list of books or writings of the books. Bible, the book, the holy book of Christians. Am I clear? Yes. Let's look at one more example, which is tele. Look at the second last word on the same page. Far. Tele means far. So telephone, telegram, telepathy. Right? Telephone means that's something that's related to you can talk to somebody who's far away from you. Telegram, you can write to somebody who's again far. Telepathy, you can actually feel that somebody from the distance, that the person also wants to talk to you and you want to talk to the person, so the feelings can travel from the far of land, right? Now look at the pathos. Pathos means emotion. Now this pathos word has been used bit differently. It has a prefix, it also has a suffix. It has the y instead of os. Sympathy, empathy, antipathy, apathy. So such words can be made out of these root words. The root words that can stand alone. Okay, I told you that I will be telling the root words that can stand. Most of the root words cannot stand alone. Can I use the word this one, alone? No. But can I use this word alone? Yes, phobia. I can use the word phobia alone. Yes, I have a phobia of lizards. Yes, I can use this word as a word. I don't need anything else. Uh, Norm is again a word that can stand alone. these are the norms that you need to follow, right? These are typical rules that you need to follow. Okay. Legal is also a root word, okay, related to law. You can have paralegal, legalities, illegal. You can form so many words out of this, but primarily this can stand alone. Okay. Act. Act is also a root word. Now, act is to move or to do something. So, actor, acting, reenact, so such words can be derived out of this. But there are about 10, 12 words that are root words but can stand alone. Rest of them, you will have to add something to make them a proper word. Clear? Yes. Look at this examples given on the screen. Scant, which means glowing or indecent. So candid, candle. These are all related to light, and these are all Latin root words. Circum, which also means circles, round and about. That is a Latin word again. Circumference, circumscribe, and circumspect. So many words. Circum, whenever there's a word circum, you know that there's something to do with around and about. Clear? Yes. Okay, very quick. I know there's so many exercises that I've been giving you today. I want you to quickly do this exercise. I only want one or two words each from each of the examples. Each of the root words that has been given here. I've already mentioned the meanings in the brackets. So quickly form the words if you can. Hydrophobia, hydrophobia, aerophobia, acrophobia. Decline, very good, Kanishka. Decline is a good word, for sure. Democracy, demographic, very good. Geography, clan body, inclined. Clinic, no. No, 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 no. Clinic doesn't come from clean. Grammar, very good, Kanishka. Liberation, liberated, very good, Sabina. Geology, democratic, very good, Harshita and Vedika. Liberalization, Arzu, good. Kilogram and milligram, okay. Herbivores. DMAT, very good. Hydrogen, hydrosphere, very well. Hydraulic, very good. Melancholy, very good, Savina. Melanin, very good. Shayani. Okay, so I think you all have got a fair idea of root words. Great. If you all are done, shall we start with the another topic? If you all are done, shall we start with another topic? Melatonin. All right, great. So let's go. Let's start with another interesting topic. And I promise this is going to be last, and then we'll be practicing. Okay. So this Okay, so now we will be talking about the loan words. Now, as the name suggests, loan words means the words that were borrowed from another language and we use them as it is in our conversations. We have not changed them, we have not changed the pronunciation, we have not changed, and we have not derived them in our in our own language. We just we made those words part of our uh, you know, our everyday English or a part of our English as it is. We have not changed those words at all. So I will be starting with the common phrases that we use, and then I will, to your shock, I will also tell you about some words that were picked up from other languages and we still use them as it is. Okay. Okay, let's start with our words. So I'm sure most of you, when you go to the restaurants and and there's any buffet going on, you're asked that would you like to take the buffet or would you like to do order from a la carte, right? Now, a la carte means from the menu. It's a French phrase that we use, and this is so commonly used. Okay, like this is one phrase that is used from the five stars to the basic restaurants. Everywhere they will ask you, do you want to order from a la carte? That means, do you want to order from the menu, or do you want to take whatever is, fixed, put up on the tables right there, right? Then you have words like bon appetit, bon voyage. You have not even changed the pronunciation of these words. The pronunciation is also picked as it is from French. We have made these words part of our language. Ad hoc means for a particular purpose. So people are hired on the ad hoc basis. That means there is a particular purpose of hiring people, right? So when some teachers are going on the leave, and for 6 months for some reason, so ad hocs are hired. Ad hocs means that they are hired for the particular purpose. That means they have to fill in the space for 6 months for the teacher, right? Okay. Then you have deja vu. Deja vu is the sense of having already experienced something. A lot of times something happens and you say that, oh, I thought that this is going to happen. I've seen it somewhere. This is deja vu, right? Then you have avant-garde. Avant-garde is something experimental, alter ego, second self, right? Then you have pro bono. Pro bono is donated or done without charge. Something that is done without without charging anything. Like, there's some pro bono cases that you do, right? Nobody's paying you for that, but you are still doing it as a part of, charity or something. Then you have this prima facie, that is at first view. Manish, I'm glad if you use that. So there are certain loan words that you should use, and uh, bona fide, yes. So there are words that we use, and in our conversations, and they've become part of our natural language. So I'm giving a few loan words to make sentences from. Okay. Okay. Tell me, what does this mean? Tell me, what does these loan words mean? Keep writing the meanings. I'm just writing, making the list of words, the loan words that are not mentioned in your book. You just have to tell me the meaning of these words. And if you can make sentences, please do that using these. Otherwise, the meaning is also okay. Either tell me the meaning or if you can make sentences. Both are good to me. Uh, en route is yes, on the way. Vice versa means opposite, very good. Voila. So voila is used when you basically when something is over and you just want to say voila, like it's done. Vice versa is yes. It means the other way around. Very good. Good. Vis-a-vis is face to face. Yes. Vis-a-vis. It's face to face. Are you clear about the meaning with the first four words? En route, voila, vice versa, and vis-a-vis. I'm glad the people who are making the sentences, very good. Faux pas. So this word, faux pas, this means something which is false. Something which is completely false. Forte. Forte is when you want to talk about that what is your specialization, what you're good at. Like when I say, this is not my forte, I cannot do this. So that means I am telling about that, this is not my specialization. I'm not good at it. I'm not very strong at it. Ipso facto. Ipso facto means by the very fact of it. So when you're talking about the facts, oh yeah, this word is also a loan word. Resume. So resume is not an English word. This is also taken from, I think, from French. We have picked up so many words from French. Yes. So you called it resume. You know what resume is, right? You all know. So the list is endless, like literally endless. There's so many words that you have picked up, and I might have missed a few. You might know some. So this is what loan words is about. Now, why do we use loan words? What was the purpose of picking loan words? En route means Pankaj, on the way. No, Fopban is not embarrassing. It is something which is completely false. Forte is when you are strong at something. So when I say, teaching small kids is not my forte. Like I'm not very good at teaching small kids, like, very young kids. Himanshu, very good. This mere statement is just a faux pas. Very good. I'll I talked vis-a-vis to him at yesterday. At yesterday? No, Ria, grammatically completely wrong. Harshita, no. We are talking about resume, not resume. Not to start with something. No. We are talking about the resume, wherein you talk about your experience, where the list, the document that you prepare, which has everything about your education qualifications and your professional qualification. Voila. Voila is when you're done with something and you're happy about it. Voila, it's done. Ipso facto is by the very fact of it. All right. So now, why do we use these loan words? Who is going to tell me? Why? What is the purpose? Why would we use these loan words? Any specific reason? So again, why are we studying about these different types of vocabularies? We are discussing about these different types of vocabulary because everything together, makes your one, it improves your vocabulary. You have different words to use. Second, it makes it interesting. When you use such words while writing or maybe while speaking. And there are few words that are used formally in the formal documents also, because everything is part of a formal language. It is not slang, it is not casual. So using loan words is not casual English, right? It's part of a formal, and there's so many words like ipso facto, vis-a-vis, vice versa, forte. These words are used formally in your formal documentations also. So everything together, and specifically something like, jargons and, these loan words, they are like, just to beautify and to enhance your language even more, right? To even enhance your English and the vocabulary part. This is why you have these such different kinds of segments. Why we do about connotations? Because you should know, you should be able to express yourself perfectly. You should be able to express express your feeling towards someone, or you should be able to convey your feelings and your expressions perfectly, right? You should know that not every word, like we just said, not every word would have the exact meaning, right? The subtle difference will change the emphasis. The subtle difference will make it from positive to negative, or it will just leave it neutral, right? So everything you will be able to have a grasp over or a command over languages, the more with the time when you practice, when you read, when you listen more, when you speak more, and when you write more. Not in one, even out of these four things, you leave out one, things will not work out. You need to do all four things all together. This is why in schools we specify, and we focus on so many, listening part, speaking part, writing part, and reading part, right? Because these are four essential parts of learning any language. All right. You watch movie, whichever you want to. You want to read a book, read whichever you want to. It should have, of course, the proper formal language. It shouldn't be a slang language and full of casual language. No. Pick a movie where you feel that, it has a substance. Pick a book that has a substance in it. And then when you go through it, you will see whenever you learn a new word. I mean, I'm sure there will be many words that you have learned today in the class, right? Use them. Go back when you're having conversation with somebody. Use it with your parents. Use it with your mother, father. This is how you will learn to use any word, right? Like, for example, voila, it's such a fancy word to say. So maybe after finishing your food, you can say, voila, I'm done with my done food. I mean, it's just the way of getting used to of using these words. Okay. When you can say that, no, I can't do this. This is not my forte. I cannot cook because this is not my forte, right? Because I'm not very good and I'm not strong at it. Yes, I don't have any expertise to do this, right? And so, yeah, vice versa. These are such words that you can use in your everyday language. Am I clear? Yes. Right. All right. Let's quickly take 5 minutes of doubt sessions. Now that I am done with whatever I wanted to teach today, I am almost done. My first 5 minutes, I will be taking your doubt sessions. And if we are still left with any time, then we go for the practice thing. Quick. Any problem that you have? Harshita, can you make a sentence for resume? Yes, I have to email my resume for to apply for this position in this organization. I have to email my resume to the HR of ABC company for a job. Dineshwari, I'm glad that you learned so many words. Go use them. I hope you have made the notes of those words. No, Sneha, not everybody. No. So, I don't like it when kids question this. That will this be asked in exam? We are not doing everything for exam here. Like I keep repeating this, whatever we teach specifically in this subject, not everything will be asked. But without studying these, you cannot reach to the next level of writing skills, and you can't improve, and you can't have this wow factor in your writing skills, right? So do not study this subject specifically, I would say, from only exams point of view. Enjoy it, learn it, and you will anyway score better if you have actually learned everything in details. You will definitely score very good. So stop asking me this question, will this be asked or will this not be asked? If you really want me to answer this question, you mostly have questions from antonyms, synonyms, idioms. Maybe you can have from connotations and prefix, suffix, like all the topics, but not from jargon words and loan words. No. But yeah, of course, when you're doing your writing skills after this, so you will be starting with your next chapter, comprehension, and after that you have writing skills. So when whosoever is teaching you writing skills, understand the understand the features of those writing skills, but to write that you need to have a good vocabulary. So use these things there, use whatever you have learned in today's class or you will learn in tomorrow's class when you're writing a writing skill, when you're writing an article, when you're doing a report writing. I will be taking your feedback from other teachers in that case. Did kids use these words or not? So use these words. I'm sure your teachers will be very happy, other teachers will be also happy. Anything else that you want me to teach you? Yes, Sahil, loan words are same as foreign words. Sam, resume and curriculum vitae both are same. They just have a difference of their no in terms of the format. I think. Yeah. Voila, my resume was selected by HR. Mohawk corrections. Riddhi, I think I've already answered this question in the morning session. I'm waiting. Any other doubts, Riddhi? This was already answered in the morning. Let me just go through it again. One second. I told you that I is the simple sentence. And H is compound complex. Because in the H part, you have two independent clauses and one dependent clause. Riddhi, I've answered now. Again. Yes, yes, you will be asked questions from every chapter. Every chapter is important. All right, as promised, last slide that I will be sharing you for practice, which is from chapter number 2. We were supposed to practice from changing the statements from passive to active, and we were not able to do it yesterday, so we'll do it now. If there are no doubts from this, Riddhi, I'll get them corrected. I've told you the correct answers. Avni, we will do this tomorrow. We have another class tomorrow. Yes, we will do it. Shall we do the passive to active question? Because that was left for us to practice. Okay, here you go. All right, everyone, let's start. Manish, please ask relevant questions. Avni, have not done collocations. Yes, this will be done tomorrow. All right, quickly answer to these statements. You have to change from passive to active. All right. Shall I discuss the answers? Okay, let's start. So the jar is filled with sand. Sand fills the jar. You have to reverse all the rules when you're changing from passive to active. Sand will become the subject again, the jar will go back, right? Is filled. When do you change from is filled? When the sentence is in simple present. So you have to change it into simple present again. The sand fills the jar. Reading is enjoyed by Mary. Mary enjoys reading. The town was destroyed by fire. Fire destroyed the town. The room will be cleaned by John every Saturday. John will clean the room. Okay. Now, here you can remove every Saturday if you want, right? When you're changing to passive voice. No. So people have got confused here. Look at the rule. When do you change will be cleaned? When this is simple future. So you have to change it, this thing, right? Or you can say every Saturday, John will clean the room. Either you can say this, every Saturday, John will clean the room. Cheese was eaten by Sarah. Sarah ate the cheese. The floor was quickly swept by the maid. The maid quickly swept the floor. The learner driver applied the brakes too hard. Now, this was a trick question. Nobody pointed out. Is this a passive voice? Can somebody tell me this? Is this a passive voice? No, it's an active voice statement. Nobody pointed out. Everybody is just trying to change and everybody changing into passive only. But nobody could realize this is an active statement. So the brakes were applied by the learner driver too hard. All right, so now I feel the active passive is also clear to you. Passive to active is also clear to you. So let's just finish today's class and let's meet tomorrow to finish vocabulary and just practice some more vocabulary questions. Do let me know if you enjoyed today's class. I'm sure you all are tired. It's been 4 hours almost that you've been studying BC&R. Okay, now go rest and then get back to your studies. Practice whatever you have done. Do use the vocabulary and the new words that you have learned today. I'm telling you, do that. Yes, bonjour is a French word. Okay, how many of you have got all right? Okay, so I see you tomorrow. Bye. Let me know how was today's class. If you enjoyed and all the concepts are clear to you, do mention it in your query box.